Diddy infected more than 15 women with an STD inside Brooklyn, New York jail.
Say what now? A woman who was locked up with Diddy just dropped the bombshell of the century. She's claiming she's pregnant with his baby. Yeah, you heard that right. Word on the street is this mystery woman spent time in the same facility as Diddy. And now, after her release, she's coming forward saying she's carrying his child. But before we get into this explosive pregnancy claim, let me tell you what's really been going down behind those prison walls. Because trust me, this story gets way darker than you think. So Diddy just got sentenced to 50 months in federal prison. That's a little over 4 years for 2 counts of the Mann Act. Basically transporting people across state lines for prostitution. Heavy stuff, right? But here's the thing that shocked everyone. He was acquitted of the most serious charges like sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Those are the charges that could have locked him up for life. The defense team was asking for just 14 months. The prosecution wanted 135 months. And the judge landed right in the middle at 50 months. Criminal lawyer Bruce Rivers did the math for us. With good time credit, that gets reduced to about 42.5 months. So we're talking about 2 years instead of life. Let that sink in for a second. But now, according to inmates who have been speaking to TMZ, Diddy's been getting really comfortable in there. If y'all thought that prison was gonna stop the freak-offs, then you thought wrong. If anything, he's having the time of his life with all these people. And apparently, this mystery woman was one of them. The pregnancy rumors began when people noticed Diddy looked visibly skinnier during his trial. At first, people thought it was because he was stressed out about the outcome. But it wasn't long before allegations about a possible STD started circulating. And now this pregnancy bomb drops right in the middle of everything. Here's where things get really messy. According to the inmates, Diddy even has a special person in there who he refers to as his wife. And baby, they've been getting really nasty in there every other night. But this woman who just got released, she's claiming she's the real deal, and she's got proof growing inside her right now. The claims became more serious when Jaguar Wright joined in on the conversation. She went off on him for spending all his money to set up freak-off parties when there are more pressing issues in the black community he could have been using all that money for. Now, while Jaguar was busy going off, she basically implied that Diddy was infected with STDs. She said there were 20 other people in the industry who allegedly have the disease that she can name drop, and they wouldn't be able to sue her because it's true and their medical records can prove it. But people didn't need her to say any names because they already had a few people in mind. The first person on that list was Usher. When Usher was 14, he was staying with Diddy, and nothing appropriate happened in that place. Diddy was caught making a mistake on camera when he seemingly admitted to sharing the same bed with less than 18-year-old Usher every single night. Now, when it comes to him supposedly giving Usher an STD, those stories began when an email from one of the people publishing Kim Porter's book got leaked online. The email read that the book covered Diddy's relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom. To make things even worse, Usher was taken to court by a woman back in 2017 for supposedly giving her herpes. She says she tested positive after having symptoms, and a lot of people think Diddy probably passed him the herpes when he was a child. But here's where it connects to this pregnant woman's story. According to the streets, this alleged STD that Diddy caught has led to his manhood not working properly. Apparently, this is why he was so heavily dependent on his infamous pink right before any freak-off session. On the day Diddy was arrested, he was getting ready for another freak-off, and his well-known pink was among the items discovered in his hotel room, along with baby oil bottles and lubricant. Based on what Jaguar said, the pink has a street name called Tusi, and it's a combination of various powerful drugs including ketamine, snow powder, and Viagra. Without the pink coke, the party can't happen. All this information was recently backed up by Diddy's former top personal assistant, Phil, who said Diddy required there to be pink and sedatives available at all times because the freak-offs happened without warning. And let's not forget that Cassie shared in court that she developed so many infections from the freak-offs that eventually her medications stopped being effective. If Cassie was getting infections, then it makes sense that Diddy caught some as well. So the question everyone's asking is, if this woman is really pregnant with Diddy's baby, how did it even happen given all these health issues? Now, criminal lawyers are warning Diddy might not make it out alive. The guy who once ruled hip-hop could be a walking target behind bars. Tony Busby, the lawyer who started this whole movement against Diddy, made a warning that honestly gave everyone chills. He said, "The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. Think about that for a second. These aren't just random people. We're talking about folks who have the resources to make problems disappear. Remember what happened to Jeffrey Epstein, found dead in his cell under suspicious circumstances. Epstein knew powerful people's secrets too. Michael Franzese, a former mob member, came out and said something that made everyone's jaw drop. He said even the mafia wouldn't tolerate what Diddy allegedly did. A former mobster is saying that even organized crime has standards that Diddy crossed. And now with this pregnant woman coming forward, the stakes just got even higher. Because if she's really carrying his child, she's walking evidence of what went down in that prison. She's a living, breathing witness to everything that happened behind those walls. Diddy requested a prison called Fort Dix in New Jersey, and people are comparing it to booking a room at the Marriott. He told the judge he wants Fort Dix because they have drug treatment programs. But is that really the whole story? Former warden Dr. D. Wayne Hendricks broke this down. Fort Dix isn't the worst prison out there. Or was he looking for a place where he could continue his activities? Activities that apparently resulted in this woman getting pregnant? Former inmate Michael Franzese explained that high-profile inmates with money face two big problems. First, you've got people who want to befriend you, hoping for business deals when they get out. But you've also got people who see you as a way to make a name for themselves. So Diddy's basically walking this tightrope. Some inmates will want to protect him, hoping for a payoff. Others might want to hurt him to build their reputation. And if those powerful people decide to reach out to someone inside, well, that changes everything. But apparently, Diddy found comfort with this woman who's now claiming pregnancy. Now, here's what happened in that courtroom that was honestly heartbreaking. One of Diddy's lawyers, Nicole Westmoreland, literally broke down crying while giving her statement. People in the courtroom said she was full-on sobbing. 6 of Diddy's 7 children showed up to court to plead for their dad. Quincy said he is our father. He's a changed man. Week after week, we see him evolve. Justin Combs begged the judge, please give our father a second chance. Christian got emotional and said, I'm the one who people say I look the most like my pops. He's my superhero. He taught me to treat women with respect. The daughters really got everyone emotional. Jessie Combs broke down immediately. She said, we aren't here to excuse his mistakes. We need him in our life. I lost my mom when I was very young. Chance reminded the judge we're just his daughters. Those are kids who've already lost their mother and now they're watching their dad get taken away. But now there's potentially another child on the way. A child that was conceived under the most controversial circumstances imaginable. After everything, the crying lawyer, the heartbroken kids, the emotional video, the judge still came back with his decision. He said, a history of good works cannot wash away the record in this case. Tony Busby made a promise that has a lot of powerful people sweating. He said the day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs. And there's a lot of names. The names that we're going to name are names that will shock you. He's not just targeting people who directly participated. He's going after the cowardly. And now with this woman coming forward claiming pregnancy, she could be the key witness that blows this whole thing wide open. Because if she really was with Diddy in that facility, she knows everything. She saw everything. She experienced everything. For 5 full years after he's released, Diddy will be under supervised release with drug tests, monitoring software on his devices, constant meetings and check-ins. He has to register as a sex offender for 10 years. And what about this woman and her baby? This woman's claims add a whole new dimension to an already explosive case. If she's telling the truth, this isn't just about what happened in those freak-off parties anymore. This is about what's happening right now, behind bars, where Diddy was supposed to be paying for his crimes, not creating new ones. So, I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe this woman's pregnancy claims? Could Diddy really have gotten someone pregnant while locked up? And what does this mean for all those powerful people Tony Busby is about to expose? Let me know in the comments section below.